And so let's download Agility Nude. So we come back over here to my site, right? We'll go to the skins for Thesis Theme 2.0. Agility is at the top. And paid members can download this here. If you're not a paid member and you'd like a copy, just send me an email, rick@byobwebsite.com, and I will send you a copy. Okay, so anyway, we just click on this. And so now I have BYOB Agility Nude. Obviously, I've already got one in the folder where this is, so I'm going to have to rename that when I move it. Let's show it in folder. We're just going to cut it out of the folder. Come over to my local file structure, my business website, downloads, and paste it here. And then I'm going to rename it. Again, you need to get rid of that one inside the parentheses. If you've only downloaded, this is the first time you've downloaded it, you won't have that silly problem. But obviously I already had one copy of it in my downloads folder. So, okay, so I've downloaded the file. And now what I'm going to do is come over to Thesis Home and go to Skins and select Skin. And now I select Upload Skin and choose my file. And I'm installing the BYOB Agility Nude skin. So I just hit Open, add the skin. It says the skin was successfully installed. And here it is, BYOB Agility Nude, the nude version of BYOB Agility Skin, a fully responsive 2-column layout skin. Okay, if we come over and take a look at the site, you'll notice nothing has changed. Nothing has changed because while we installed the skin, we didn't activate it. Right? The current skin is always up at the top. So you see this label, it says current skin, and then below that it has installed skins. Now, for every installed skin, you have the choice of either previewing the skin in development mode or activating the skin. Now, if we preview the skin in development mode, what happens is when you are, let's see, let's reload this. Okay, when you are logged in as an administrator, you can see the preview version of your skin. So you can open up the skin editor and you can edit the skin, and you'll be editing this preview version. And if you just look at your site, you're going to be seeing the preview version of that on your site. But if you go to the site and you're not logged in, you see the original skin. So T2 lesson 6, no, BYOB tutorial. Okay, see, I see the Thesis default version here, right? I don't see the preview version because the preview version is just being showed to me. And that is something that is unique to Thesis. Thesis lets you have one skin active and then lets you edit another skin. And as soon as you want to stop previewing the skin, you just stop previewing the skin, right? But if you preview the skin, now the preview skin is at the top, the current skin, that is the active skin, is down below it, and then your installed skins are down below this. Now, I can also choose to activate the skin. And if I activate the skin, now everybody sees the activated skin. Right? If we refresh it over here in a non-logged in state, the non-logged in people see the activated skin. Okay. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the use of images in BYOB Agility for a moment here. Because this is a professional portfolio site, images are critical. And let's see, we'll go to the skin editor. And Agility comes with some basic column layouts. And this is the way in which it behaves responsively. It has a 1/4 column, which is 258 pixels wide, a 1/3 column, which is 320 pixels wide, a 1/2 column, which is 516 pixels wide, a 2/3 column, which is 640 pixels wide, and a 3/4 column, which is 774 pixels wide. Now, the primary width of the pages of the site is a 2/3 column and a 1/3 column. So the content is 640 pixels wide and the sidebar is 320 pixels wide. Now, the reason why this is important is because you want to use images that look good inside of those column widths. And so primarily you're going to be working with images that are either 640 pixels wide, 320 pixels wide, or this is designed for a thumbnail image of 200 pixels. And so before we really do anything, we're going to go over to our WordPress media settings and we're going to set this stuff. First thing we're going to do is change the thumbnail size from 150 to 200. So 200 pixels and 200 pixels. And the medium size is going to be 320 pixels, but we don't want the max height to be 300. We just want the max height to be big. So we'll make it 1024. That way you can put any reasonably sized medium size image in. And then large size is going to be 640 by 1024. Now, what WordPress does is every time you upload an image into the media library, it automatically creates a thumbnail size and a medium and a large size as long as the image you uploaded was bigger than either of those two. So if you have a 1000 pixel wide image that you've uploaded in the media library, it will upload your great big wide image, and that will be called the full size. And then it will shrink it down to a large size where it's 640 pixels wide. It'll create another one shrunk down to 320, and then it'll crop one down to 200. Okay, and so we're going to talk more about that, but it's important to set these things very early on. So we're going to set our images to 200 pixels wide for the thumbnail, 320 width for the medium, 640 width for the large, and save changes. Now, if you have a site that already has a bunch of images in it, then you're going to want to install a plugin. And if you have a site that already has a bunch of images in it, you already know how to install plugins. If you don't know how to install plugins, don't worry about this. I'm sort of jumping the gun in this. But you're going to want to search for the plugin Regenerate Thumbnails. And you're going to want to install this plugin Regenerate Thumbnails, because you can use it to recreate the correct image sizes from your original downloaded images. So if you're converting a site to Thesis2, or if you have a site that you began building and you put a bunch of images in and now you're going to use Agility and you want to use those image sizes, you'll need to download and install Regenerate Thumbnails. But otherwise, if you're starting from scratch, just set these things in your media and you'll be fine. And one other thing I want to show you, we're not going to do a real tour of Agility today, but there's one other thing I want to show you that does come with Agility. And that is the Agility Nude options. Now, Agility Nude options gives you this chance of changing font sizes and font colors and that kind of stuff on your site. And so, for example, you could say, notice that right now this is all Arial, right? That's what this font style is. You could come over to this and say the typical font style should be Georgia. And we'll make the typical font color red or dark bright orange. If you save those options, and then you go visit the CSS editor and save the CSS. Let's reload this. See, everything's been changed now to the Georgia font, and the typical font style has changed to this red. So we're going to talk about that extensively, but that's how this Agility Nude skin options works. You can set them here, and after you've saved them, you just click on that and visit the CSS editor, edit the CSS, save it, and it takes effect.